Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Real Talk with Recruiters. This is our third episode today of recording this podcast. And just to give us a little quick intro into who we are and what we talk about, we are all three recruiters for one of the largest healthcare organizations in the St. Louis regional area. And we tell stories about recruiting candidates. We talk about the good, bad, and the ugly. So take some notes and follow along with us.
Yes.
Today, we are going to be talking about, Jaclynn, do you want to go ahead and introduce that?
Yeah, so today we want to talk all things St. Louis related. So, what really sparked this topic? I got to let everybody know.
Good.
I was scrolling through some news articles. I think just like I don't know if it was on my social media, like or what, but anyways, I stumbled across this article that CNBC shared that was about the top 10 new graduate cities. So these would be the top 10 cities for new graduates to go to. And St. Louis was number one.
Well, you look at there.
So I was like, that's awesome. And this is such a great topic to talk about. And so some of the reasons that St. Louis was number one was because the unemployment rate's lower than some of the other larger cities that it's compared to, like LA, we mentioned earlier, New York City, Chicago. And also the cost of living is more affordable. So you can find a job easier, you can afford to live and still have money to go spend on recreational activities or food or whatever, sports, whatever your thing is, and St. Louis offers it. So I was like, this is such a great topic because who doesn't want to know that they can move somewhere that offers, first off, a job opportunity, second off, an affordable place to live, and third off, the means to, support yourself and do things that you want to do, not just that you need. I'm probably not even the best one to introduce this because, we have two people born and raised in St. Louis on here. I was not born and raised in St. Louis. So you guys, take it away. You guys are going to be the experts. So I'm just excited to share with everyone, what St. Louis is all about, things to do, why it might be a fun place to relocate to, or even just visit to see if you might want to relocate there. So, but we also want to be honest that, St. Louis doesn't have the best reputation. So we might want to talk that through and kind of debunk, why it doesn't have the best reputation, but you guys still live there and still love it, and why we all find things to do there.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't currently live there now, but I grew up there. I lived there till I was 20. I grew up in Dogtown, which is, South City, St. Louis, right by the zoo, Science Center area. That's, if you kind of need an idea of where that might be. Those are some major amenities in St. Louis that I grew up around. And it was fun. There's a lot to do, and it's actually really great for family living. There's a free zoo in Forest Park. There is a free science center, multiple free museums.
I was gonna say, and so many festivals and celebrations in the area, right?
Oh, always, yes.
And I was gonna say, it's when people think of St. Louis, they forget about all of the counties in St. Louis,
Exactly.
And when you think about the festivals, you're talking about, okay, St. Louis City has a festival, but then so does St. Charles County, so does Florissant, so does, Bridgeton, so does, it's so many different. We can hit 3 carnivals in one weekend if we want to.
Absolutely. And there's within St. Louis County, there's, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but multiple municipalities. So those are just like little cities within St. Louis County. So they all have their own little, city government within themselves. And I think that is something that can be really confusing when moving to St. Louis because a lot of major cities aren't like that. And in my past life, I worked for one of the cities for those municipalities, and it's great because you can kind of choose an area that you want to live in. They usually all have their own school districts. And then you have St. Charles County, which is large as well, St. Peters,
Mhm.
Wentzville, and our hospitals and the organization we work for are all over. There's some in the city, there's a lot in the county. So there's a lot of like really nice areas to choose from when it comes to living and growing a family in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, and
And,
not to mention the Illinois side too, where you are,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes, that is where I currently am, which isn't far.
and the radius. Let's talk about the radius because people, when I visited other places, it could take you an hour just to get to one destination, but
Yeah.
really in St. Louis, you can live like in your own little area and still get to all where the action is within 30 minutes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yes,
Yeah.
there's so many highway systems here and everything is
Yes.
connected so well.
Mhm.
Such
That
a
is
drivable city, St. Louis is. That's what
it
I love
is.
about it.
I
Yeah.
didn't notice how great that was until I actually moved to Illinois because I live in a small town in Illinois, just about 40 minutes from St. Louis now. And that is something that you take for granted because, just to get to Target, it's 25 minutes. But when I lived in St.
Mhm.
Louis, it's 25 minutes to South County, and
Right.
Mhm.
that to me growing up was really far because everything else is so close. And so, I took that for granted. It's easy to get from one place to the next in St. Louis. Of course, we have traffic like anywhere else.
Right, but
Um,
it doesn't add an hour to our commute. It doesn't add an
no.
additional 30 minutes. I mean, now that we, have all moved to remote work, a lot of people are still doing remote work. I mean, that has cut down on some of the traffic, but again,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
the radius, everything, and so for me, I've never left St. Louis. So
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
here and I've been like, so there was 3 areas that were kind of 4 areas that I would say were my stumping grounds, quote unquote. And I use this when I'm talking to candidates because sometimes they don't know. So I have to tell them, okay, so I grew up in Florissant, and then but my grandmother, she lived in Jennings, and it took us 10 minutes to get to her house. So
Yeah.
and then in college, I lived with her for a semester. Everybody lived with the grandmama once upon a time, but I lived with her for a semester, and it only took me 20 minutes to get to college, and then my family moved over to like a more of a western part. I don't know if you all are familiar with it's still Florissant, I would say, but it's closer to Maryland Heights.
Okay.
Closer to Maryland Heights. But that's only
It's Bridgeton.
it's Bridgeton, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're 15 minutes from Florissant, and then we're the opposite direction, 10 minutes away from Jennings, and then 20 minutes away from downtown. So, and then and it's so many different, like, I wish people would just
Well, and
Google
it
it.
sounds
Yeah.
confusing, but it really is nice to have because, like I said before, there's a lot of different options for where you want to live.
Mhm.
And each municipality has its strength. And I used to work in Richmond Heights, and that is like right on the cusp of the city. So you are close to, Forest Park. You're close
Yep.
to other municipalities. Surrounding municipalities would be Clayton, Brentwood,
Mhm.
Maplewood. So
And they
it's
all kind of have like their own flavor,
Mhm.
totally,
which I love
totally.
and
That's a good
appreciate.
Yes,
point.
Yeah.
they do. They really do. And then
Point.
even in the city, we have our own neighborhoods. So they're not cities within the actual St. Louis city because it's not a county, but there's neighborhoods. So you have the Hill, which is a very strong
Mhm.
Italian.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's Dogtown, where I live. It's very Irish. And then you have like Soulard area,
Solar, yep.
Benton Park.
It's
Um,
just so and
it's
it's like
so interesting.
It is.
Yeah, it
it's
really
so
is.
it's and just to I know Jaclynn was mentioning earlier, one might say, why do we want to move to St. Louis? And you kind of hearing us throwing out the different things that are here and everything. But as let's talk about like the safety quote unquote aspect, because a
Yeah,
lot of people, and we don't have to go far on this topic at all, but a lot of people kind of remember like what happened in Ferguson and kind of
yeah,
related that
Yep.
to St. Louis. And it's like, but at the same time, like, you know how the news can be, they blow everything up,
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I lived, I would say maybe 15 minutes away from Ferguson in Florissant when that occurred.
Yeah,
I've never, ever, ever, ever felt uneasy living here in St. Louis.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
It's
feel
that's
so
good.
happy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
good to
good.
know. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I do think that there is like a bad rap around it when people, aren't familiar with it and maybe just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like anywhere, you said, like the rumor mill can go, the media
Yeah.
can change things a little bit and kind of make them things that they're not. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
I will say as a St. Louis transplant, if you will, not being from the area, um, I I felt that same a little bit uneasiness because I'm not originally from a large city, from more of a small town, and so I know that that was kind of like some of my reservations was safety, and some of our family's reservations was safety, but I never once felt unsafe. Um, I think that I was very comfortable, and I was surprised with how quickly I became comfortable in St. Louis. And I think
Yeah.
it was just because it is so drivable and there is just like little hidden gems in all of those
Mm-hmm.
little municipalities or like neighborhoods, like Kelly was saying, and you just grow to love them.
Mhm.
And I was like very surprised by like how friendly everybody was. Like in cities, you
Mm-hmm.
never know, you're
Yeah.
like, what are people going to think? Are they going to be friendly? Are they going to know that I'm not from here? But everyone was so friendly whenever I first moved to St. Louis. So,
Yes.
And
Yes.
it
And
just it's I just wanted to add real quick though,
yeah.
with Jaclyn said, you said I like the way you let everyone know that you had your reservations as well. And when you got here, you kind of were like, what? It's fine. And just the quick story. I went to LA and I was like, I'm going to LA. I never been to LA. I heard about it in the media.
yeah.
Okay, let's get it started. Y'all.
Oh my.
And see, because I know how things are, I'm just gonna count it to where I was at, or the area I stayed in. When I tell you I was ready to come back to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not the
Oh.
first person I've heard that from, though. I mean,
Yeah.
even my husband went to LA for work one time and he said the same thing. It's just not at all what's publicized. And,
No.
not to
Mhm.
bash LA, but
Yeah.
it's just every city is going to have their thing, right?
Yep.
And our thing that's publicized, unfortunately, was the Ferguson incident. And,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of put an idea on all of St. Louis, and Ferguson is a beautiful area. That's
Always
another
has been. Yep.
always has been, and it has a Ferguson is a municipality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have their own Parks and Rec system. And I was in Parks and Rec before, and so I know their Parks and Rec system was really great. They had a really nice center in Ferguson. So you know, what I worked and had talked with people who worked for Parks and Rec in Ferguson, and they always had amazing things to say about the
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood. So, it speaking from someone who's from the area, and Alexia can relate as well. It's not at all what's being publicized all the time. Everything that you see, isn't
Right.
always exactly what it is. There's a lot
I
of
think
great things in our
too
area.
that like the statistics are a little bit alarming though when it comes to safety because
Yeah.
I don't think people realize like how like vast the St. Louis region stretches. So like
True.
you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at numbers that are like condensed to like the city. Well, there might not
Mm-hmm.
be as many people in the city, but if you add in like, the Metro East area, like the West County area, even the North County, South County, like the St. Louis region stretches. Like
It's
people,
huge.
yeah,
Yes.
there's so many more people in St. Louis than you would expect based on just like Googling, the
Yeah.
the St. Louis
Yeah.
population. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, just like anywhere else, we have our dangerous areas that really
yeah.
probably should be avoided. My dad
Yep.
always said to avoid the state streets. It's
Me
just,
too.
Well, thanks.
you
I'm
know,
learning something new.
just avoid them. Travis lives on a state street. One time sorry, Travis is a colleague of ours, but one time I stayed the night at his house and asked my mom to pick me up the next morning. And once I told her where I was, she's like, no, she wouldn't even come pick me up. So Travis gave me a ride home, but it's just, and that's
And
just
networking and
St. Louis.
learning
Like
these
you're gonna
things.
have to know those things,
Mhm.
and you just have to be careful. Like you would go to any new city, do your research, network, like Jaclyn said, talk to people in the area and ask them. What areas, in the city should be avoided when I'm trying to find a place to live. There
Yeah.
are a lot of beautiful homes going up in like the Soulard area. But at night, the Soulard crime, it rises and falls throughout the year. It really
Mhm.
does. So you just have to be mindful, of when you're choosing a place to live. The nightlife is
Mhm.
fun in Soulard. The nightlife is fun in Central West. And you just have to be cautious of your surroundings, just like you would anywhere else when you're
Anywhere.
unfamiliar.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right. Anywhere else. We stayed in a suburban area in Houston, sort of Richmond this summer. And I mean, I treated it the same way I treat here. I locked my doors. I watched where I was going. I
Yeah.
didn't stay out too late. I watched my kids. You just some of it is common knowledge. And I did
Yes.
want to say, side note, Kelly, as long as we're doing people a favor, giving you guys this information, but at the same time, Google. I mean,
Google.
you can see everything nowadays. You don't even have to jump on a plane,
Yeah.
Facebook groups.
Yeah. Just do your research. There's so many opportunities here.
Yes.
And I want to talk about our high school system too, because I know a lot of people know that a very common question. And Jaclyn, you probably heard this a lot when you lived here is where did you go to high school? We have tons of high school options, which is unlike any other city as well. And from really great public school systems
Mhm.
throughout the city and county to private school systems. I went to a private school in Kirkwood, which is another municipality in St. Louis
In
County.
St. Louis.
Yeah. Love
Right.
Kirkwood.
And and there's, like I said, there's just opportunities galore. So if a private school system isn't something you think your family could afford, then an option would be to move a little bit further out to the county where there's really great public school options,
Yeah,
that
that's why I
that
moved to
are free.
Bridgeton.
Yes, yeah,
That's
there's
precisely
mhm,
why I moved to Bridgeton.
yes.
When you're in one area of wherever you live, you're one area. I was more familiar with Florissant. And I did notice for my own preference, I didn't really want my kids to go to school there. I went to school there and it was fine, but you know, you learn more, things change and whatnot. And for me, I still had to do research. I had no idea what Pattonville had to offer until I looked it up on greatschools.com, I looked up the
Mm,
different ratings, all that. And another quick story, so we're here. We've been here for about, I would say we've been in Pattonville School District here in Bridgeton, Missouri. Write that down, folks listening in Bridgeton, Missouri. We've been here, I think, about 7 years now. And my husband, he goes to work early in the morning before the kids get on the bus, so he doesn't see it. So the other day he didn't go to work, and so he went to the corner store and got him something. I don't know what it was, but he went that morning. I think it was an energy drink. And when he came back, he saw my kid at the bus stop, our kid at the bus stop. He saw the neighbor's kid and the mom at the bus stop with him. Then he saw the other kid with the dad at the bus stop with him. And here go my husband. This is nice. And I'm like,
Aw.
yeah,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and and that speaks too because people have different situations, but the parents we were all there at the bus stop with our kids, like, we
Yep.
don't we just, it's just caution.
Right.
yes, yeah.
For sure.
And there's higher end municipalities, right? You have Ladue,
Mm-hmm.
Clayton, like those are going to be, maybe a little bit more expensive to live in. And then you have really nice, still affordable places like Afton or,
Mm-hmm.
South County or like
South County,
Bridgeton,
Arnold.
like Arnold, like, and I could go on and on. There's so many, but
Yeah.
like Alexia said, like just pull up Google. It'll tell
Yes.
you everything you need to know, and you can check all of the ratings on everything, and go
Yep.
on those schools' social media pages, see what they're
Yep.
doing. And if
Yeah.
you're someone who's raising a family, like there's just so much to do with your family in this area as well. So from Forest Park and all of its amenities that it offers, like the Muni, an outdoor theater. Um,
Yep.
we
So
have
good.
so good. There's the boathouse in Forest Park where you can paddle
Yes.
boat on
Mhm.
a man-made lake, which is very fun, right outside the art museum. There's just so much to do. Trails for days.
Oh, if you go out west of St. Louis, just the way that there's the bluffs, it's like
Oh,
it
it's
Mm.
transports
beautiful.
you out of the city immediately.
Yeah,
And it's
yes.
just like if you're a nature person, like hiking, like outdoor activities, I think there's even like something that transforms into like a ski resort in the winter. So just
What?
yeah, I'm gonna have to look
Yeah.
up what it is, but it's out
No,
west.
it's
Yeah.
no, isn't it Isn't it out by like isn't it like out in Eureka or like
Yes. Yep.
past like Six Flags? Yeah,
Yeah.
why can't I think of the name of that?
Okay.
But yes, you're right. There's just
Google
so
it,
much.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
And we're 3 hours
And
from the
we
Lake of
haven't
the Ozarks.
even right, and we haven't even I've been here all my life. We haven't even I want to see everything, you know?
I
oh,
know.
I
Mhm.
I I feel like I didn't even get to like scratch the surface on everything that I wanted to do in St. Louis. I mean,
Yeah.
I of course covered the St. Louis staples. Everybody, if you haven't been to St. Louis, definitely check out the sports scene. We got the Cardinals, we got the Blues,
Now we have a
Mhm.
uh,
soccer team that's coming.
soccer team
They're
coming.
building the
That's
stadium. Mhm.
and
Oh, that's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna
St.
become a
Louis
soccer
sports
fan.
fans are just like unwavering. Like
Yeah. There's a new
it's so fun.
aquarium. There's a new aquarium
Yep.
at the Union
Union
Station.
Station. Yep.
Don't sleep on St. Louis, you guys. Do
No,
not.
definitely not.
Don't do it.
Oh, I saw
So,
Hamilton this past spring at the Fabulous Fox Theater.
Yeah, I wanted to
Um,
see that.
oh, it was so amazing. And I
I'm
mean,
jealous.
these are traveling
So wait a minute.
Broadway.
Right, I was gonna say, so you can see Broadway traveling shows right here at the Fox Theater, which is probably about 20 to 25 minutes away from wherever you're gonna live.
Yep,
Yeah. And that's in
because it's
Delmar.
centrally
So
located. Yep.
Crazy.
that's right. That's what is that? North City? Or where is that?
That would be considered probably North City.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
So yeah, it's all just so close to each other, like we said earlier. So definitely don't count us out if you're willing to relocate to this area because
And
For sure.
there's too much to offer.
and I was gonna say, I know we didn't I don't think we had talked about it earlier, but so I quickly was looking at rent prices because that's
Oh.
a topic,
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
So
Mhm.
the average rent prices here in St. Louis, it said it is typically $1,100. Like,
Oh my gosh.
it's 2022 now, right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be what it was when I bought my first apartment.
Yeah, but that's not bad compared to a lot of other places.
Oh,
And
yeah,
let's
I got it. I got it. Compared to LA, the average, and if you know anybody living in LA, they'll tell you the average rent in LA for the same apartment square footage, $2,700.
That's
Oh, wow.
The average
crazy.
rent, same size apartment in Chicago, 2,200. And in New York, oh my God, it just varies all over the place.
Oh
Twenty six
yeah.
hundred, 3,000
Probably for like a studio.
first
And,
two. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
let's just say in St. Louis, like, the different variety of places to rent. So if you want more of, like, the city feel, if you wanna live in a high rise where you have to pay for a parking garage spot,
Mhm.
you can do that downtown.
Yep,
If
you
you
sure
wanna
can.
have a place where you can have a little yard because you have a pet or you want a driveway to park your car so you don't have to park on the street, like, all of the different little neighborhoods
Mhm.
offer something different. So
Yeah.
wherever you want to live, like you will find something that fits you in St. Louis. It's attainable.
Yeah.
I know that we have to log off here soon, but before we do, I want to ask you guys, like, let's end on this. I want us all to talk about name if you had to choose your favorite restaurant in St. Louis. You would just tell people they have to check out.
I got one because
Okay.
I go here for a parent to go
Drum
out
roll.
to eat by themselves at least twice a month, maybe 3 times a month. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's actually in St. Charles, Missouri, and it's called Prasno's.
Oh.
Prasno's. I've never
Okay,
even
I'm
heard of
writing this down.
Prasno's. Where is it?
I was calling it Prasino, but the waiter specifically told me, "Welcome to Prasno's," and
How
I
do
was
you
like,
spell it?
Prasano. Pras. It's either Sano or Sino. Because
Prosino?
I was calling it Prasino, but he
But
said
it's Prasno?
it's
Fresno.
called
Okay.
Prasino.
Prasno?
I
So
think
it's
it's
Italian?
Prasino. Anyway, the prices affordable. I have never eaten anything. I've never eaten anything there that I didn't like. Brunch,
What kind of
coffee.
food is it?
It's just I don't know.
I'm like completely enthralled now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
just
gotta
Um,
go
really
here.
good,
I
guys.
just looked it up. It's in St. Charles.
I'm about to
Yes,
book a reservation right now.
It means
it's so good.
Prosino means Greek, green in Greek.
It's so
Okay.
good. They have
Um,
And they have this wine wall. They have a bunch of open bar seating and
Oh
bar
my
tables.
gosh.
Then they have an outdoor patio. Then they have the dining area.
This looks fancy.
It's
I like it.
it's not even pricey. It's not even like, if I go on the low end, if I don't do anything but get some breakfast and some coffee, I'm probably spending $17.
It looks like a great date spot too. I just looked it
That
up.
is my
It's
spot.
I love
yeah.
that. Okay,
Jaclyn, where you go?
my favorite place. Oh, I have so many in St. Louis, but I'm gonna have to go with Canetto on the Hill.
Oh, that's That's a
Mm,
staple. Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
good. Yeah.
I would have to just pay tribute to Dogtown and say Seamus McDaniel's or Felix's. So Felix's is pizza, in
Mm.
Dogtown, and Seamus McDaniel's is kind of like bar food, but it's an Irish pub.
Mm.
Delicious. So it
Wow.
gives.
See?
I miss living in Dogtown. My parents still live, so I always try to hit them up whenever I'm there. But yeah,
many
This was so
places I
fun,
gotta
you guys.
so
I
fun.
love this. We're gonna have to do part 2 and like dive into like more than just like
We do need to
scratching the
do part 2.
surface.
Let me
Yeah.
write that down.
But I think that it's amazing that you found that article. I
Mhm.
think it's relevant, and I hope that people see this and consider us.
That's
Consider
right.
St. Louis.
Yes. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for listening,
All
and
right.
talk to you guys soon.
See you later.
Bye.
See ya.